Hello, I'm Bernie Markovich, president of the Sheboygan Concert Association, and I've got a secret. And the secret is 1,020 people know about the Sheboygan Concert Association and attend their concerts. And here we are again, touting a brand new season. With me today is Liz Hewler, who is our secretary, and Tippy Young, who is the vice president in charge of programming. And what we're going to do is announce next season. These telecasts will correspond with our annual season ticket campaign. We do all of our performances at the Weill Center, have from the very beginning of the Weill Center, but we've been around. This is our 89th season. So next year is going to be even bigger than what we've got this year, and we've got one heck of a season to offer you. Our season tickets sell for $55 if you buy them within the early bird frame, and they go up a horrendous $5 if you happen to miss the date. And it's Liz's job to make sure that she gets the $5 if she's got it coming. So it's all up to you as to when you join. Brochures will be passed out at the next concert, and then you will have until the 5th concert to renew your subscriptions. And there are newspaper advertisements that are going to be in that will have pictures of these people. You'll get to see sneak peeks in the course of today's program. So, without ado, I think I'm going to ask Liz, tell us a little bit about the memberships.
We have season memberships only, so you need to, if you're interested in the entire season, you get your season underway.
We send a ticket that we punch when you walk in the door. That's it. If you wash the ticket, if we know who you are, we'll let you in. If we don't know who you are, we might still let you in, but I wouldn't take the chance. The thing is that the $55 covers 5 concerts. This is one of the best kept secrets in the city, because there are situations when you pay that for a single concert at the Weill Center. We don't have reserved seats. But everyone seems to find the one that they're happiest in, because I can tell you, I sit in the last row of the balcony, and there are people always in the same places. There are also, in the dead of winter, people standing outside waiting just to get into the lobby. That's how much they look forward to our concerts. The thing is that you will send your money in the spring. You won't get your ticket until several weeks before the first concert of the season. Normally 2 in the autumn, and then 3 following up in the spring. So Tippy.
Yes, sir.
Tell us, how do you choose these programs, which we selected last September?
Well, we have a board of directors, and I always include anybody who's interested from the board of directors to come to a meeting and meet with a representative from a concert services association. I think he's in St. Paul, or is he in Minneapolis?
That's the same thing.
Same difference. And when he comes to town, he brings with him a little video clip, much like the ones you're going to see today of the performers that were selected. And he has pages and pages of attractions and artists performing. And we simply go through them, we listen, we take notes, and at the end, we all make our choices and recommendations, and it always turns out right. He has a wonderful system of voting, and we vote, and the ones that we want, that the most of the board members want, come to the top, and those are the ones that are chosen. We have to consider the dates that the artists are available, the type of performer they are, whether it's vocal or instrumental or whatever, and of course the cost figures in. We can't have all of them can't be the most expensive ones. So we have a challenge before us when we meet and have to consider how we're going to make this all fit into a calendar year. And it's pretty much it.
Liz, tell us about the different classifications of tickets.
We have adult memberships, which sells for $55 during the early bird session, And after the deadline, they go all the way up to $60. That is the overall price. That includes everything, membership and inclusion with all 5 concerts. Then the student members are $20 for all 5 concerts, and we have a family membership, which is $130 as the early bird and $140 after that big price range.
And the family is?
The family is mom and dad and all of the student age children that you are financially responsible for. So I mean, once the children are out of the house, married and have children of their own, they're still your family, but they are not a family as far as we are concerned.
People have tried it, which is why we bring it up. But we did have a group. I think that there were 7 children in this family that came, and I would say that they were from maybe 2nd grade on up through high school. But the thing was that when we're looking at our program selection, we're looking for things that are going to interest a wide variety of people. We just had 2 lyric sopranos singing beautiful, beautiful arias, some show tunes, spirituals, things like that, varied concerts. But then we'll get a great big group. Several seasons ago, we had 75 Russians on that stage, an orchestra, a full chorus, and a dancing ensemble. And we've got Russian dancers coming this coming season. So the thing is that the programs can be big or they can be small, but they're in that absolutely stunning Weill Center. And in all the time that we've been there, there's only been one group who hasn't commented on that auditorium. And the group that didn't comment was from Czechoslovakia, and the poor guys didn't speak English. They knew they were someplace special, but they didn't know how to verbalize it. So, that's what it's like. It's a thrilling experience. We've got people that leave those productions at the end of the evening saying, I've already gotten my money's worth, and it's the first concert of the season. And so it just carries on, it carries through, and there's always something. You're not going to like everything. Those of us who've been around forever have our favorite concerts that we absolutely loathed and despised, and promised that over our dead bodies would they ever reappear. But we have had some people that have made often appearances. We've got people who are quite vocal about, you've got to bring them back. Well, if they're available and it fits our schedule and our budget, we can bring them back. We've done that too. But we're always looking for young talent, people on the way up. And for some reason, our David Folan, our artist representative, always has something that is going to be of interest to us, and we're the first ones that he comes to. And I've said I honestly think that once we make our selection, there's a group of people that follow, because he deals primarily with concert associations like ours. I think we're probably in the grandest facility, but other than that, they travel. The group that we had last Thursday night, after they left here, they went to somewhere in North or South Dakota. But they try to put these concert tours together, and then there are limitations, the various seasons and things like that. So without further ado, we're going to start with the lineup, and the very first show of the season
is The Inspiration of Broadway, and the season will open on Thursday, September 7th with this presentation. Now, The Inspiration of Broadway doesn't give you much to go on other than the fact you're going to hear some wonderful Broadway music. It will be performed by a male quartet. Their name is Signature Sound, but they don't publicize that as they tour with this particular program. Signature Sound is a male quartet, as I said, that has become quite famous singing gospel music and spirituals. But they have broadened their repertoire, and this season, they're going to be doing a lot of Broadway favorites. And to make that happen successfully, they have added a gentleman by the name of J. Mark McVeigh, who is a Broadway star. He performed the role of Jean Valjean from Les Miserables over 3,000 times. So I guess he's pretty well practiced in that.
Yes.
But he has been in other Broadway shows as well. And he has won the Helen Hayes Award for Outstanding Actor. So he will be singing with these, with the quartet, and there is a trio of instrumentalists with them, that piano, bass, and drums, I believe. And even though they are known for their gospel and spiritual music, as I said, they're going to be doing a considerable amount of Broadway show tunes. And they have given me a list of things that they will be singing, and I won't go through all of them, but Climb Every Mountain makes most everybody get excited. Sunrise, Sunset, Blue Skies, Old Man River. Anyway, you will hear wonderful Broadway music, and you will hear some spirituals, because that is what they're very, very good at. And they have become known as one of the most outstanding quartets and touring groups singing gospel music, and they have gotten the nickname of the Gospel Globetrotters. So I think it will be a wonderful show and a great evening. It should please a lot of different tastes.
Sunrise, sunset, swiftly flow the days. Ceilings turn overnight to sun clouds, blossoming even as we gaze. Walk, walk on.
Liz, you've got the second one of the autumn season.
All right, and that will be on Monday, November 6th. We have Derek Nelson and family. They are 3 siblings from the Pacific Northwest, and they've been performing together since they were children. Their sound features velvety 3-part harmonies, close harmonies, music that I love. They've had over 3 million hits on YouTube. Derek has been heard on TV shows including The Voice and How I Met Your Mother, and he's appeared regularly as the lead guitarist on TV show Glee, that we've probably all heard of. Rihanna, his sister, has a musical theater degree, and she's been a lead vocalist for Princess Cruises. And Dalton, a brother, has an extensive musical theater background, and he has conceptualized, designed, filmed, edited, and executed over 150 separate videos to create visual views to the musical experience. Their concert features a pristine sound, a state-of-the-art light show, and a 20-foot video display using the latest in audio-video technology to take audiences on an oral and visual journey through time, space, and an impressive array of landscapes, weather conditions, and musical settings. It sounds like an exciting program. And the date again is Monday, November 6th of this year.
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Let go of the troubles on your mind. It only takes 3 deep breaths and a beat in your chest to know that you'll start over again. Am I sitting in a tin can, far, far above the world? Planet Earth is blue and there's nothing I can do.
that concert will be on a Monday night. Our concerts traditionally are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, never on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. It's one way of getting into the Weil Center without having to pay the weekend rate. It's evenings that our audiences seem to appreciate. There's that little space between the November and usually it's a February, early March concert to take care of part of the bad part of winter and for people who are gone, although snowbirds still buy season tickets. Okay, Tibby, number 3.
Well, number 3 could be a tongue twister. It's the State Dance Company of Dagestan, Russia, and their company's name is Lezginka. It's Lezginka, for those of you who like to see things the way they are properly written. They were founded in 1958, and their performance is described as fiery folk dancers expressing boundless love for their native land and its heroic past. I think every Russian dance group I've ever seen always has spectacular costumes, and this group is no different. Their costumes are simply gorgeous. Lezginka is a particular kind of dancing, and they say that it's temperamental and stirring, and that the gentlemen dance on their toes. Now, that's not toe dancing as you think of it as ballet dancing with satin slippers, but you've seen male dancers, Russian dancers in particular, in leather boots, and they get on their toes and keep their chins up and their heads high, and believe me, it's not easy. And that is one of the kinds of dancing that is called as part of what is understood to be Lezginka. So they are from the Caucasus, and the Caucasus area and region is very proud of its history and of its strength and of its, they're exceedingly loyal and patriotic. I think it will be colorful. I think it will be exciting. There will be 40 dancers on stage. What's not to like?
Exactly.
It should just be exhilarating.
Exactly.
So if you can come to see that, you'll have your toes tapping.
Gravity-defying dance routines. This stunning and electrifying show has been hailed by critics as the most spectacular, thrilling, and beautiful show in a decade. 40 performers, breathtaking costumes and scenery, a show for the whole family. The Kings of Dance.
Liz, number 4.
Okay, number 4 will be Wind Sync, a woodwind quintet consisting of the usual instrumentation: flute, oboe, clarinet, bassoon, and French horn. This group is the winner of the 2012 Concert Artists Guild International Competition. They are young people. Internationally recognized for dramatic and engaging interpretations of classical music. WinSync is a young ensemble mixing familiar classical music with some familiar lighter tunes. They have a distinctive American flavor, featuring masterworks written for wind quintet, as well as their own transcriptions of uniquely American music, like Copland's Variation on Simple Gifts, Gershwin's Summertime, and Ravel's Bolero. They perform exclusively from memory, which is quite an amazing task. And they specialize in creative concerts that inspire and entertain audiences of all ages. WinSync will be with us on Tuesday, March 20th of 2018.
And now to wrap up the season, Tippy.
Well, I'm pleased to tell you that the Glenn Miller Orchestra will end the season on Thursday, April 26th. I think everybody knows the name Glenn Miller. He was one of the big band era. And when he was born in 1904, I have to give you a little background. It's a long time ago. And he grew up in Iowa. Sometimes he was born in Iowa, but he moved to Colorado. And his father gave him a mandolin once upon a time, and he immediately traded it in for a beat-up horn. And he proceeded to practice and practice every chance he got, which is every parent's, hope for, dream, that their child will practice. But he did, and he loved it. He went to the University of Colorado briefly. He did not graduate, but he was more interested in developing his skills so that he could become a professional musician. And of course, you all know that he did. He played with bands such as Tommy Dorsey, Jimmy Dorsey, Benny Goodman, Gene Krupa, and I hate to tell you, I am old enough to know and remember when I was growing up in high school, dancing on Saturday night in the summertime to those orchestras. I have heard them all, and they're absolutely fabulous. The kids of today don't know what they're missing by not having such opportunities. At any rate, Glenn Miller formed his own orchestra in about 1938, and the Glenn Miller Orchestra proceeded to perform all along the East Coast, and it was absolute bonanza. Everybody wanted him. He was very well received, and there were recordings that broke records of the day. Tuxedo Junction, for example, sold 115,000 recordings in the first week. Now that probably doesn't stand up against recording numbers of today, but in that day it was unbelievable. And he also had a radio series, not a TV series, but a radio series, and he played for Chesterfield Cigarettes, which aired 3 times a week over CBS. Then when World War II came along, he signed up and he joined the United States Army in 1942, and he was assigned to the Army Air Corps, where he ultimately organized the Glenn Miller Air Force Band. And he was shipped out to England, and in 1 year, less than a year, he did over 800 performances. You figure that out at 365 days a year, that's pretty intense. And regrettably, in the fall of 1944, he was going to go on a 6-week tour with his band throughout Europe for the servicemen, and he departed for Paris, and his plane crashed, and of course that was the end of Glenn Miller. It was terribly sad at the time. My husband says he does remember when that happened. He would have been a little shaver, but he says he remembers that. So Glenn Miller it'll be a wonderful sound. Of course, they use all the same arrangements that they have been over the years, and it'll be marvelous. I'm going to want to dance.
Pardon me, boy, is that the Chattanooga Choo-Choo?
Yes, yes, track 29.
Well, you can get me a shine.
Can you afford to board the Chattanooga Choo-Choo?
I got my fare
And just a trifle to spare.
If you don't know who we are, hopefully this will have helped you. These little film clips are going to convince you that it's worth the money. And then on top of it, I'm going to tell you, just in the last 3 seasons, we've been adding a sheet to our program that indicates gifts that people have given us over and above the price of their tickets. And just this season alone, there was enough money to pay for an extra concert. Now, that being said, we're not going to put in an extra concert because our technical director unfortunately died last year, and we now have expenses at the Weil Center that we've never had before. We have to pay for a stage manager, we have to pay for a lighting and sound technician. They're the people that get these people set up. They're the ones that have to pack them up after it's all over and then run the concerts. But our concerts have become, I think if you'll agree, a little more interesting because Julian Yetzer, who runs the light board, has added all kinds of things that we've never had before. So there's, when you're listening to a singer or musicians playing instrument, there are different lighting settings and things like that keep you awake. I don't think you'd ever fall asleep during one of our concerts. It's almost impossible. The acoustics in that theater are impeccable. We had Maureen McGovern 2 seasons ago. She picked up that little stool and she went out onto the thrust, which is where the orchestra pit used to be, and she put that stool down, she sat on it, and she sang without amplification, and you could hear her throughout the whole hall. There are times when we don't, I think, need amplification because that was what that hall was designed for. The vaudeville troops, they all performed before that oleo curtain, and it all went out. When they built on the new stage house on the Weil Center, they went way back, and then they had to go up 3 times the stage opening so that they could fly things, and I think that altered the acoustics when they have that kind of thing. The symphony performs inside of a shell. We never do that kind of thing. We have tech writers that we have to follow through with, and we've got people that handle all that. We have no salaries in our group. That's one of the ways that we keep the prices down. We had the very generous gift from Lee Shane a couple seasons ago that have allowed us to expand what we spend on a concert season. We used to spend approximately $32,000, $33,000 on artists alone. That does not include the rental of the Weil Center plus the extras that come in. And we're up to about $40,000 to $44,000 now. But how are you going to turn down a group like Glenn Miller or these Russian dancers or this Broadway troupe? It's a fascinating, fascinating evening. You'll see all of us there. We're always smiling because we know we're worth it. And I think you'll find out that we're worth it too. All you have to do is send Liz the money. So thank you very much for paying attention, and do seriously consider becoming a member of the Sheboygan Concert Association.